Now let's see what Athena keeps on telling the Eumenides. I'm always more interested in how Athena talks to the Eumenides than how the Eumenides talk back.
Right, right.
Because they're still sore.
That's right. They have to get over it. She's leading them.
So I love the fact that the Eumenides ask Athena, okay, so what kind of hymnos, what kind of hymn are you telling me to sing for this land? So Athena, the persuader, the organizer of civilization, the inventor of the city-state, according to this charter myth, is going to be the unifying principle, the integrating principle that will teach the Eumenides what their role is as ritually normal presences in the city-state of Athens.
And the song is can you unpack a little bit about what the hymnos means?
Yes, and the hymnos, which I'm translating here as hymn, you could translate it as song. What it means in the original Greek is the singing and dancing of something that is so perfect at the beginning that it just keeps on going. So in many situations, it can refer simply to the beginning, because if you have a perfect beginning, then everything else will be perfect. I have this analogy, which is it's a perfect takeoff, and if you have a perfect takeoff, then you have a perfect flight and a perfect landing. That's what hymnos is all about. It's not just the beginning where you sing the divine motivating force. It's then everything that logically happens from the divine motivating force. So another way of saying it is that the English derivative of Greek hymnos, which is hymn, is boring. Because you think, oh, it's it's something you sing in church and you may not feel it or whatever. But it's very interesting. It's all important in ancient Greek thinking, because
here it's the choral too, right? It's the choral
absolutely. It's all inclusive. It's all integrating. That's what a hymnos is. And the Eumenides, let's call them euphemistically Eumenides now, no longer the Furies. They're ready to be instructed. Okay, what's the magic formula that we're going to sing? I shouldn't say magic, because that makes it too specialized. What is the all-inclusive formula? And so Athena's instruction is the song of the Eumenides that they are taught to sing. Sing that the gusts of wind will come with good sunlight and blow over this land. So think of how we started with the evil winds. That Artemis unleashes, not because she wants to, it's because Agamemnon wants to slaughter Trojans. So, okay, you're going to slaughter your daughter first and prove what kind of predatory bird you are. Here, these winds are turned into these powerful forces of fertility and prosperity.
Fertilizing winds as well as destructive winds,
Absolutely.
So these are the good kinds of winds.
And they'll come with good sunlight and blow over this land. And then look at all the fertility at line 907 and following. The fruit of the earth and the offspring of the animals of the field will flourish abundantly for my citizens. And there will be salvation, Sōtēriā, of human seed. And Sōtēriā is now going to be a word that will keep coming at us, and we will see that it is an all-powerful concept tied to the idea of the ancient Greek hero, but tied to the relationship of heroes in the heroic age to the cosmos of the divine world. It's an all-inclusive, positive force of well-being that we translate as salvation. It's not something that starts with Christianity, but Christianity certainly is inspired by the words and by the whole worldview of Sōtēriā. And Greek Christians today call salvation in the Christian sense Sōtēriā. So anyway, may you be ready to promote the fertility of those who worship well. If you're ritually correct, you're morally correct. At least that's the mindset of Athenian civilization and of civilization of most city-states. And I love this part. For I cherish, like a gardener, the progeny of these people here who are so just.
Right.
And here's Athena the gardener. You remember when we were reading the Odyssey, and where does it all lead to? It leads to a beautifully tended garden, which is the way you conceptualize everything that's just with society and with the cosmos.
Right. When you have the good king, everything
And
is
the good
like that.
king who presides over it. Well,
Right.
now we don't have kings anymore,
no.
but we
Yeah,
do
we
have
a lot
Athena,
going, yeah.
who brings all the kingly charisma of the heroic past, reshapes it
Right.
into the civilization of a democratic society,
Right.
which is something that Aeschylus fervently believed in.
Right.
And now Athena, the architect of the city-state, of civilization, of the rule of law, is the gardener.
Right.
Because the ideal society, the ideal state is a garden.
Right. And so you also have it in the metaphor of autochthony, of their growing from the earth, right? The
And that's
Athenians.
the ideology.
Yeah.
Can you believe it that ancient Athenians really believed that they were all descended from the earth, because that proto-hero, Erechtheus, was born of Mother Earth.
Yep.
Therefore, we're all born from Mother Earth.
Yep.
And even if the Spartans hate the Athenians, they have to accept that part of their myth. It's
Yep.
this strange contractual thing about people who just live and die fighting each other,
Right.
but who buy into each other's myths
They
to the
respect them,
extent that
yeah.
they're all part of a mythical world where, okay, if they, the Athenians, are autochthonous, that is to say, if they're descended from Mother Earth,
Right.
then we, Spartans, we're the greatest immigrants who ever were, because we came with the sons of Heracles.
Right. Right.
And that's their ideology.
Yes.
So then you have super immigrants versus super natives,
Right.
and on it goes. But doesn't mean they get along.
No, but it means they respect each other's mythological traditions.
respect, or maybe we'll say live by.
Live by, yes,
And why?
exactly.
Because they worship the same gods.
Exactly, yeah.
So you've got to
they're
have some.
connected. Yep, they're-
You've got to have some kind of connection.
Yep, yep.
And Athena is a goddess for the Spartans, even though they have no city named after the goddess, but they still worship her.
Yep.
So here it is. I think a beautiful Hegelian synthesis
Okay.
of everything that an ideal city-state should be. And for ancient Greeks, the city-state is the perfection of civilization.
Perfect.
And it all happens here in the Oresteia trilogy.
Right.
And this is the last of the passages that we study for close reading
Right. Of
in
Essex.
the Oresteia
Yep,
trilogy.
yep.